What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back with another off-season rebuild, back to one of the teams that were eliminated on Friday. We already did the other team, that being the Sacramento Kings. Of course, the last two games of the play-in tournament on Friday. Kings got eliminated. We did them yesterday, and now we're turning our attention to the Chicago Bulls, who are also eliminated by the Miami Heat. And it's no surprise that the Bulls offseason is going to be interesting because it's all about what the front office is going to do. Are they finally going to give it up and say this core cannot get it done? Or are they going to say, hey, we're getting Lonzo Ball back, let's run it back? So that'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'll put in my 2 cents and do my very best, but let's jump in and do the Chicago Bulls offseason rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one, of course, and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated, and prayers up to freaking Lakers fans and 76ers fans, because the way y'all lost those games yesterday, I am so glad I'm not in your shoes, because I would have been going to bed pissed, sad, depressed. Like, it was just, those innings were absolutely crazy last night. But that's besides the point. Let's talk about the Chicago Bulls. So, DeMar DeRozan is an impending free agent. Zach LaVine, of course, got hurt. Kobe White has blossomed on the scene. I would assume it was done great. Vucevic is locked up. Caruso. Like, this team, and then, we're getting Lonzo Ball back. Their GM already has said and acknowledged that this group is not getting it done. So, does that mean he's going to completely move on? DeMar DeRozan's a free agent. Apparently, they tried to extend him. It didn't happen. It'll be interesting to see what they do. And I can't sit here and 100% say I believe they're going to do this or the other. Like, I generally do not know. But let's go ahead and see what's the championship really quickly. And then, of course, we'll let the lottery determine what we do. But I know for one thing, I believe the Bulls do not have their pick next year. So that might be a little bit of incentive to maybe be bad. Because I believe the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that here in a second. LeBron James is trying to retire. Of course, really good game from him yesterday. Just unfortunate that Jamal Murray turned up at the very end. But let's go to the lottery. So let's see where this Bulls pick ends up in the lottery first, and then we'll go from here. So we're projected 11th best odds here. So let's see if we find a way to jump up from 11. And we are going to actually fall to 12. So we get number 12. Warriors jump up to 3. That's a crazy jump for them because they had 14th best odds. Damn, that's pretty wild. 76ers. I still don't understand why 2K has the 76ers getting Toronto's pick. It makes no sense. That goes to the Spurs. So the Spurs would technically have 8 and 9. But we have 12. So we have pick number 12. And I need to look at this. So pretty sure if we go to future draft picks, I'm pretty sure the Spurs have our pick next year, and I think it's like top 10 protected or something. Let me double check that. So it is top 10 protected, as I thought. So if I'm the Bulls, I'm thinking next year's draft is really good, right? Like, that would give me the incentive to be like, you know what, maybe it would be better if we weren't that good next year. It might just be the best way to go about things, just because you get to keep your pick in the top 10, hopefully anyway, depending on how the lottery goes for you. But if you're bad enough, you get that pick and you keep it in a good draft class, which I think is probably the reset the Bulls need to take. So that's probably the direction I'm leaning towards, and I think it's the direction that makes the most sense. It's basically where everyone's wanted this team to go for anyway. Like, just be bad and tank and, build around young players. Like, stop trying to run the score with DeRozan, Caruso. Like, it's just not, Vucevic, it's not working. So LaVine also 100% is being traded. I'm not really sure what his trade value would be at this point, but coming off an injury, I don't think his trade value is going to be that insanely high. So we're probably going to move him for whatever we can get. But let's just go ahead and get straight to staff signing. Now, Billy Donovan's interesting because I could see this going either way. Now, up to this point, he has not been fired yet, but I could see a world where they do fire him. I also could see a world where they just run it back with him. Looks like he has 1 year left in his contract, according to 2K anyway. But this offseason, as you guys know, as I always say, is not great for coaches. So I'm actually just going to keep him for 1 more year. And then he'll coach this team 1 more year, and then we'll decide what to do with him after that. So I'm just going to fill this out. And I'm going to go fix that 76ers pick. We're going to probably try to trade Zach LaVine before draft night. But let's just get straight in this offseason. Let's make this direction for the Bulls make sense. Let's do that. That's the thing we need to worry about today. Today's video is brought to you by DGF Optimizer. If you're playing on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any other DFS app, having a tool like this is so clutch to finding good plays without having to do any research whatsoever. For example, on the board at the moment, you could actually take the under on first inning total runs on the Giants and Mets game. But let's even find a basketball example, because we're a basketball channel. So Pascal Siakam under 39.5. You actually have one book listing at actually 2 different books listing this at 37.5, and then the books that have it 39.5 are still favoring the under. So right there, a good play to go ahead and put in. And then the same thing, Donovan Mitchell. Books are favoring the under at 4.5 rebounds. So like I said, I found these plays within 2 seconds, just like that. Didn't have to do any research. I can plug and play them, and that is why this tool is so clutch. And for example, if you want to check out this tool, like I said, use code Crushables. Link is down in the description below. 25% off your first month. This slip right here came straight from the optimizer. Of course, I plugged it in with the Jokic free square, but I got Giddey under rebounds, Kevin Love under 4.5 rebounds, Harden under assists, and then Mitchell Parker over strikeouts, all from the optimizer, literally. So that's why I absolutely love optimizer and swear by it. My results are as shown. Since I've started using it, I've become such a profitable sports bettor. It's actually crazy. It feels really good. But of course, I'm also part of the Prize Picks. Use code Crushables on Prize Picks as well. They match first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. The way it works, you choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players being 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times your entry. Make sure to check out Prize Picks. You can literally choose from any stat, sport. It's actually crazy. There's so many options on here to choose from. So if you want to go over Durant, 26.5 points. If they're going to have Cat guarding Durant all series, then I imagine Durant can have a good series. So yeah, that wouldn't be a bad bet whatsoever, in my opinion, but you never really know. Every game is different. So if you wanted to go Durant over 26.5 points, and then you want to go to like over assists, or if you wanted to go to another sport, let's say you like hockey or something, and you wanted to go Connor over 20.5 goals, the possibilities are endless. So go ahead and check out Prize Picks. Use code Crushables, like I said, on both apps. 25% off your first month on DGF's optimizer, and then the match first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100 on Prize Picks. Check them out. Let's get back to rebuilding the Bulls. So the first thing we are going to start with here is throwing LaVine in the trade finder. Again, I don't think LaVine's trade value is going to be insanely high. Caruso, I'm going to try to get a first round pick for him if possible. Has still shown he's a really good defender and a really good player. So this is the first share that pops up where we get Middleton and Brook Lopez. But here's the thing. If I'm doing this trading Zach LaVine thing, I'm looking for guys. I'm not looking for vets in return. I'm not trying to be a competitive roster anymore at this point. What I'm going to do today is I'm not trying to put together a competitive roster. So far, none of these trades I like. So we could send them to Charlotte for Trey Mann and Grant Williams, which would be 2 players at 23, 25. Nothing crazy. It's okay. Nothing. It's not great, but if I somehow got like a first round pick out of them as well, I don't think I'd hate it. John Collins and Clarkson, no thank you. Hood-Schifino, Gabe Vincent. So, of course, the Lakers could entertain the idea of trading for Zach LaVine, especially if it doesn't cost them much. We get Hood-Schifino, Gabe Vincent's contract. If I could get like a couple of firsts out of them as well, I think I would do that trade. Ben Simmons, Finney Smith, but we'll just keep looking just in case. There was some interest about Detroit wanting Zach LaVine, Jakob Poeltl, for Evan Vliet. So far, though, between, the Wizards doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, I think we're leaning towards either between the Hornets trade or the Lakers trade. And, of course, the Lakers would make a ton of sense. So, we can get Hood-Schifino, Gabe Vincent. If I can find a way, like I said, to get a first-round pick out of them, maybe if it's just one first, I would absolutely do this trade. I just think that would be good enough for me. So, let's say we did this. We get LaVine gets sent to the Lakers. We get 1 first-round pick in 2025, loading up in this 2025 draft class. They want a 2024. They want our 2024 pick. I definitely cannot do that. I'll give you Javon Carter as a throw-in. They want my 2028 first. Obviously, I'm not trading a first-round pick. Javon Carter could be thrown in here. And then maybe say we threw I can't throw anything other than a second-round pick at you. They still want my 2024 first-round pick. I am definitely keeping that. So, unfortunately, maybe I can't get their 2025. But let's say we wanted their future, like, 2028 first. What do you think about that? They want Javon Carter second. That's fine. So, we'll do this trade where we send LaVine over to the Lakers for a 2028 unprotected first-round pick. Honestly, I wouldn't mind banking on that because you don't really know what the Lakers are going to be in 2028. LeBron James is old. Anthony Davis is old. So we get Hood-Schifino, who's still a good throw-in as well. He could definitely be something maybe for us in the future. But yeah, I'm going to do this trade. So I'm sending LaVine over, getting rid of him. He goes to the Lakers. Done deal there. So he is gone. And now I'll probably turn my attention to Caruso. Caruso's another guy I'm going to try to trade away as well. Similar to LaVine, I am looking for a first-round pick. So right away, I like this trade a lot. The 76ers trading for Caruso, I think is actually a good idea for them. So I don't hate that idea whatsoever. But let's keep looking just in case. We also get Paul Reed as a backup 5. Does not. I actually kind of like that as well. So far, that is by far my favorite trade. And then we have the Thunder give me a first-round pick. I actually don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. The OKC Thunder, of course, are contenders at this point. They wanted Caruso. But I do think I'm going to do this trade with the 76ers. They get Caruso. I definitely think it makes sense putting him next to Embiid, Maxey. So we're going to do this trade. The 76ers, we get Paul Reed on a first. So I'll take that. Is there anybody else I need to trade? And I think the only one I'm looking at is probably Vucevic, but I don't think we have to get rid of him. He's on a 3-year deal or 2 years left in his contract. So I think we'll wait. So let's just jump in and see what we get at pick number 12. So Nicole is going 1 to Utah. Number 2 is Stephon. Number 3 is Alex Sard of the Warriors. That's pretty nasty for them. Tijon, I don't know how to say his name. Zach Crushables is going to the Wizards. Number 7 is going to go Ryan Dunn. Cody Williams, I'm not even sure who I'm going to take. I guess it just kind of depends who falls to me. Collier and Dillingham are gone. Reed Shepard. And then Donovan Clingan goes. Honestly, if Donovan Clingan would have fell to my lap, probably would have been the pick. But we do get either between like Ron Holland, Montez Bazelis, Jacoby Walter. You got Dalton Connect down here, Kyle. So like there is, I don't think we're getting like a great player by any means here, but I do believe I am going to take Ron Holland here. So I'm going to take Ron Holland with this selection. Welcome to Chicago. I've never known Ron Holland to develop very well from this draft class, but we'll definitely take him anyway. So 76 overall, welcome to Chicago. Dalen Terry, we are going to accept. Lonzo Ball, of course, accepts this player option. And then we'll accept this guy as well. Why not? And then qualifying offers. Patrick Williams is a free agent. I definitely have interest in bringing him back, but not for much money. But let's go take a look at free agency. So D'Lo's a free agent. Again, we're not going to go. We're letting DeRozan go. I mean, I know Chicago could re-sign him. But I'm simply going to just let him go, man. I think it makes sense for us to just be as bad as possible next year. And that's what we're rolling with. So, Lonzo Ball, if I can move him eventually, I probably will do so as well. Maybe I play him a little bit and then he, plays up to health. So yeah, Ron Holland's going to get a ton of minutes probably. We're going to probably play him at small forward because he's 6'6". We'll play him at 3. And then we're probably just going to sign like whatever we can get in free agency. So right now we have our guard rotation as followed. We have our small forward rotation. So we basically just need a power forward. This team hopefully is just going to be bad. That's kind of where I'm at with this roster. So Patrick Williams is, probably our power forward. So I'm just going to sign a backup somewhere. So if we can sign like Jordan Nwora to a 1-year deal or something, like that's fine with me. Something along the lines of that. So this isn't going to be a sexy offseason by any means. Like I said, we are going to look to just be bad as possible next year. So I'm going to let Patrick Williams get an offer sheet from somewhere. If not, I'm just going to re-sign him to as cheapest contract as possible. So let's see. So he gets an offer sheet. It's a 1-year deal. I am going to go ahead and match that still. So yeah, we'll take that and be happy with that. So Patrick Williams on a 1-year deal. Welcome back. So we'll take that, and that will be our rotation. So this team should suck. Probably will stop at the deadline to move Vucevic and Lonzo more than likely. But let's go straight to player progression. Hopefully guys aren't progressing too much just yet. But we have Patrick Williams up to 79, so that's great. And then Dalen Terry, Hutchifino, Lonzo Ball. So yeah, if this team is good next year, I'm going to be pissed. Because like I said, I want to be top 10 in that 2025 draft class really badly. I want to be able to draft, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, whatever it may be. But we need to reset this franchise and establish a new direction. And I think we're doing that here. So let's get into next season. As I load the wrong draft class, what are we doing? So we're going to fix that really quickly before I forget. And then I go into the draft class and I'm pissed at myself. So yeah, we'll go ahead and fix that. How do people know anything about 2030 anyway? That's kind of crazy, man. I don't know. These draft class creators are out of their mind. But whatever. Let's go straight into next season. We got to cut one player. It'll probably be the guy ended up. Actually, no, it'll be you. So we're going to cut Henry. And let's get in next season. So power ranking going to land us 30th. So we aren't good, which is great. I don't want to be good. And here's your rotation. So Kobe White, Ida Sumu, Ron Holland, Patrick Williams, Vucevic, Paul Reed, Gabe Vincent, Jordan Nwora, Dalen Terry. That's exactly kind of what I want it to be. I want it to be bad as possible. Lonzo Ball is not up to health yet. So once he is, he will obviously join the rotation. But yeah, this is going to be a bad team. Now, I do want to look at shot tendencies. So Kobe White's shot tendency, as much as I don't want to be good, his shot tendency being this low is disrespectful, especially on this roster. He's going to shoot a lot more. And then same thing with Ida Sumu. Like, he's going to shoot a lot more as well. So, and then Ron Holland's shot tendency is a 79. So I think that's fine as a rookie. So I'm going to go ahead and summate this season. We should be as bad as possible. And then, like I said, at the deadline, I'm more than likely looking to move Vucevic, Lonzo. You better not win a bunch of games for us, Kobe White. I'm just telling you that right now. We better be as bad as possible. So we're at the trade deadline, and I'm simply just going to go ahead and dump Vucevic over to Miami for Duncan Robinson. They're offering me a first-round pick for Nikola Vucevic's services. I think we do this trade. He comes off the bench from Miami behind Bam Adebayo, or whatever they decide to do with him, but he's having a really good season still. So I think a first-round pick is definitely warranted. So we're going to do that trade to get rid of Vucevic. That gives our center position a lot of, depth is not there. Now, Lonzo Ball just came back. He's not played much whatsoever, but I still do believe, I think trading him still makes sense. Now, unfortunately for us, gauging a Lonzo Ball trade and what the value would be on that is kind of impossible. Like, I don't know what he would be at this point, but obviously 2K is going to value him a little bit higher. Like, it makes sense to maybe send him to Charlotte. Like, he can go play with his brother or whatever. Like, that kind of sticks out to me a little bit. So I kind of like the idea of that, where Charlotte isn't giving up, like, a ton. They get, you know, they trade Grant Williams contract, whatever. Trey Mann, if they can keep him out of the trade, I think that'd be good for them. Let's say instead of Trey Mann, they did like someone who they're not as attached to, like Bryce McGowan's or something. So like, what if it was like something like this, and then they give us a second round pick for, you know, taking Lonzo Ball. We get Grant Williams, who can be a rotational piece. Yeah, he's on a long-term contract, but it's not that big of a deal in my opinion. I actually think he's a solid power forward as an option, because we don't even have a backup power forward at the moment. So they agree. So we get Lonzo Ball out of here. He goes plays with his brother. They bank on, you know, they take the bet on him. So I think that makes sense. All right. So now this team should be horrendous. Like, we should continue to be really bad. Paul Reed's our new starting center, and we'll continue from that. So hopefully this goes as much as I think it's going to go. 20-31 on the season right now. Hopefully we're even worse now. I think season number 1 was an absolute success. We were very, very bad. Paul Reed actually wins most improved player, averaging 11 and 10 once he got a starting spot, so that kind of makes sense for him. But yeah, this team didn't do good at all. Like, we sucked. Ron Holland makes an all-rookie first team. Love to see that. He ended up averaging 13 points per game. Efficiency was gross, but you know what? Still, he got 13 on the board, which is great. Okay, other than that, we are in not in the playoffs, of course. We ended up as the 15th seed, so we guaranteed we keep our pick, which was basically the game plan this whole entire time, as we know. And we were the worst team, so we are going to have number 1 best odds. Now, does that mean we're getting the number 1 pick? Of course not, but I am happy that we secured keeping our pick at the very, very least. And I think the worst we can drop to is 4 or 5, I think. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we stay at least in the top 3. Celtics going to win the championship over the Thunder. And then LeBron James is going to retire a Piston now. Interesting. All right. Now we can go straight to the lottery. So again, we are projected number 1 overall, which is top 10 protected. We also, no, that's it. And then we have Portland's pick, or no, or we do have Portland's pick because they actually made the playoffs. So we get their pick, which is nice, at least if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we get their pick, which will be outside the lottery, of course. But let's see if our pick stays in the top 3 and it falls to 5, which usually when I get number 1 best odds, that's usually what happens. But again, I'm still happy to be here. We kept our pick, and that's what matters. Rockets via Washington again. Washington is supposed to keep that pick. Is there any other pick I need to fix? Thunder via Utah. I don't know if Utah's pick is protected. It might be. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know. But Rockets and Thunder, I'll probably end up fixing that. Other than that, we have, let's see, we have the 18th pick via Portland. All right, so we've dropped to 5, which is unfortunate, but it happens. All right, Billy Donovan's gone. So there will be a new head coach hired. We can get Nick Nurse, who would be perfect for a rebuild. Mark would, of course, be perfect, especially if the Thunder decided not to keep him. I don't ever get Mark. He doesn't have like a bunch of badges, but oh, damn it, he's not going to accept that. Never mind. All right, let's see. Bill Donovan, we could bring back Taylor Jenkins, Kevin Ollie. I mean, we're at the point where the options are getting slim pickings. I feel like I'm always getting either Will Hardy or Taylor Jenkins, but they're like the real head coaches out here that are actually solid options. So I guess we're not getting Mark today. Maybe I had to give him more money. I didn't think I would have to, which is fine. We'll take what we got. And if I can hire Kevin Ollie to be my assistant, I think that'd be not too bad. So we got Jenkins and Kevin Ollie to be our assistant, which is great. And then we can sign a post-D coach and then a big man coach. And then we're going to draft at 5. So hopefully we get someone that falls to us at 5. We're not getting Cooper Flagg, obviously. That would have been nice, but all good. So I'm going to fix those picks with the 76ers and the Jazz. Or was it? No, Rockets. Sorry, Rockets and Thunder. So we're going to fix those picks, and then I will see you guys on draft night. So here we go, picking at 5 and 18. So number 1 is going to be Cooper Flagg to the Wizards, of course. Number 2 is going to be Ace Bailey. Number 3 is going to be Damian Sarr. Number 4 is going to be Dylan Harper. I was kind of hoping he'd fall to my lap, but we are going to get, I think we take Dink Pate and be happy with it. So I'm going to take Dink here. His ceiling is all-star. CJ McCollum, not a bad player. Of course, CJ is pretty damn good. So I'm going to take Dink here, 6'8". Welcome to Chicago. And then we are picking at 18 as well. So we have Jalil Bethea. He's also has a ceiling of an all-star. Bench of Kyle Korver, AJ Johnson, Ian Jackson. I think I'm going to take Jalil Bethea here. So we're going to take him here, and that will be our 2 picks in this draft. So not bad. I think we did pretty good, 76 and 78. We also got a second-round pick. I cannot sign him to a 2-way contract, unfortunately. But player options, Doug Robinson, of course, I'm declining that. Dylan Terry, I'm accepting. Jalen Hood-Schifino, I'm accepting. I'll decline. Mr. I don't know how to say his last name, but you get who I'm declining. And then Adama is a free agent as well. Okay. Free agency now. We probably have money to sign like Tatum if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. So, let's see. Do we want to sign anyone free agency? So, Kobe White, Gabe Vincent, Jalen Hood-Schifino is our point guard rotation at the moment. I'm obviously, which I didn't even look at the stats, I don't think. My bad. Let me take a look at these stats. So, Kobe White averaged 21, which is great to see out of him. Good efficiency as well. So, love to see that. So, I would assume with 15, Ron Holland with 13, 11 and 10 from Paul Reed, and 9 from Jalen Terry. So that's great. So Kobe White, Hood-Schifino is our point guard rotation. Gabe Vincent, if I can send him out of here, that's probably what we'll do. Dink, and then Dalen Terry, Jalil Bethea. We're going to figure out what we're going to do with these guys. Ron Holland's our small forward at the moment. Grant Williams is our 4, and Paul Reed is our 5. Okay. Let's do this. So what we're going to do first is Gabe Vincent will be moved out of here. Dink, Dalen Terry. So Dalen Terry, I would assume could continue to play shooting guard for us. I think if I can move Dink and Terry to 3, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to move Mr. Jalil Bethea. He actually goes up as well. But I'm going to move Dink to small forward. It goes up to an 80. I'm also going to move Dalen Terry, who I think would go up as well, which he does. So we'll do that with these guys. And then Ron Holland, I don't know if you will go down if I move you back to power forward. He actually goes up at power forward. So we're going to actually move him back to power forward. That's probably what we'll run with. So it'll be something like that. So it'll be, Kobe White, Audasumu, Dink, Ron Holland, and then Paul Reed. So I guess at this point, what we truly need is a better center. We could run it with Paul Reed, but if I can sign a center, which Jalen Duren is here, I don't want to throw a bunch of money at Jalen Duren. I don't think that's the best thing to do right now. We can sign like Day'Ron Sharpe. We can sign Jackson Hayes. We probably aren't going to be... We're probably not going to have a very good center until we, get lucky in the lottery again or something. DeRozan's here again. Patrick Williams, of course, asked for $20 million now. He shot 45% from 3. Damn, that's... he's going to be an expensive guy if we want to bring him back. But I don't know. Maybe I do bring him back. Zubac. Isaiah Jackson is here. I'm going to go ahead and sign... I think, Jackson Hayes to be our backup 5. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to commit to Jackson Hayes, but we just need someone to be our backup center next year. And then Patrick Williams, I'm still undecided what I want to do with him. I think it's probably best we resign him, but I don't know if I want to pay him $20 million. Okay, so we're at the point where his money is going down. As long as he doesn't have an offer, I'm going to wait till as long as possible to sign him, to get him for as cheap as possible. Let's see if offers start to pop up, though. So this is a gamble, but I'm willing to take it. Again, no one's offering him any money right now, so he is definitely gambling on himself. Okay, so his money has come down. I am going to offer him. He shot very well. Can I give him 15.25? He declined that. Okay, so he wasn't insulted, but he did decline it. All right, so let's see, we bring it down to 16. What about 16? Okay, I think he'll accept that. So we signed Patrick Williams to a really nice contract. I didn't want to let him go for nothing, so I'm actually happy to bring him back. So Patrick Williams, I don't know what actually, I kind of like him over Grant Williams anyway, which I forgot to do. What we're going to do is probably send Ron Holland's going to play. So Grant Williams will probably be played out of the rotation anyway. But we're going to send Mr. Gabe Vincent out of town. Let's trade him right now. Let's just get rid of him. If someone wants to give me a second-round pick for his services, that's totally fine with me. We get Maxi Kleba, Dwight Powell, and then send me a second, and we got a deal. They want to swap seconds, whatever. We'll do that. So Gabe Vincent's out of here. We took on some salary that's expiring. It's whatever. So let's go straight into next season. Don't think we'll be very good next year, but at least we've established that we're a young team looking to continue to rebuild. I don't know what our pick protections are next year, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm glad we're able to keep our pick in this draft and select Dink and see what we can make out of him. So let's get into next season. Let's look at this rotation all together, and hopefully this season can be good for us. So parking is going to let us 30th overall. We're 3.5 under Taylor Jenkins. Here is your rotation. So it's Kobe White, Audasumu, Dink, Patrick Williams, Paul Reed, Ron Holland, Grant Williams, Dalen Terry, and Jackson Hayes and Jonas Schifino. So I guess that could give us the ability to send Jalil Bethea to the G League since he is out of the rotation, which I'm totally fine with. So he'll go to the G League, and then we'll run the season how this goes. We'll see how it goes. So I'm not expecting to be very good. Grant Williams is getting minutes. Probably will try to send him out of here if possible. But other than that, let's go ahead and summate this season, and let's see how this Bulls squad does. So not a great season by any means, but a lot better than last year. I'll say that at the very least. So looking at all rookie teams, I kind of wanted to see if, yeah, he did end up making, which is nice. 15 points per game out of the gate, which is awesome. And then that was it. I don't think we had any other rookies playing, unfortunately. So we did not make the plan, but we did win over 30 games, which was kind of intriguing. So if we take a look at the standings really quickly, if I can get there correctly. So we ended up winning 36 games, which isn't bad. It was a very competitive Eastern Conference, but 36 games, still good nonetheless. And we also made some financial decisions. I extended Kobe White at the extension deadline. I extended Audasumu. I also extended Paul Reed. So those guys are all part of this team going forward. Audasumu, Kobe White is probably our backcourt long term. Io's averaging 18. Kobe White's averaging 21. Not too shabby. Now, I know these guys probably aren't going to develop as much as I would want them to, at least to like an 88 or overall or something like that. It's probably just not going to happen. But nonetheless, I wanted to keep them around. And I think if we can find like the good first option here, maybe Dink's able to develop into like an 88 overall or something like that. Ron Holland 14, Patrick Williams with 10. So not too bad. But let's go ahead and see who wins the championship really quickly. This offseason will up the aggressiveness maybe just a tad bit. Our pick, I did find out, is top 8 protected in this upcoming draft. So the Pacers are actually going to win the championship. Very interesting. But yeah, top 8 protected. We'll see. I don't even know what our odds are going to be going into this draft. So we end up with, let's see. So we have 7th best odds. So, you know, like I said, pick is top 8 protected. So as long as it's in the top 8, we get to keep our pick, which is nice. So let's see what happens. So we are going to jump. No, we have 7. So we get to keep that pick. So get pick 7 in this draft. Honestly, I could draft, like I said, and keep adding to this young core, you know, rookies or whatever. But I almost want to see what the trade market would be if we try to trade the 7th overall pick and upgrade somewhere. We do have some salaries to, you know, combine together with that selection that I think we could do something. That's probably what I'm going to try to do. Let's see if we can make a big trade here. So I know the position I want to upgrade the most is definitely the center position. So I'm looking at Cleveland. Of course, they have 2 different bigs that we can try to pry away, like Mobley or Jarrett Allen. Now they are buying, but they weren't great last year. The other team I was kind of looking at was, Brooklyn. They have Claxton, of course. So Claxton would be interesting to bring in. I definitely think that's a safe option if we can get him. Because we do need to upgrade the center position very, very badly. Because right now we're running Paul Reed and Jackson Hayes. Paul Reed I like, but Jackson Hayes, obviously, if I can get another rotation and have Paul Reed as a backup 5, that's probably where he's better, suited. So that's probably what I'm trying to do here. So I am going to talk to Cleveland first and shoot for the stars. So let's see. Mobley is locked up for a long time. $38 million. Jarrett Allen also locked up. So again, either one would be great to bring in. Evan Mobley is probably one they would rather keep. Now that's probably the one I'd rather have, of course. And I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think in my head if the Cavs would just trade Evan Mobley like that. They've kept Donovan Mitchell. I just don't think it's that realistic. So I am going to talk to Brooklyn instead about Claxton. I think Claxton's very realistic, of course, 9-10. He would just be a huge upgrade to the center position. So I am going to offer Grant Williams salary because, of course, I don't need his salary anymore. And then I'm going to also offer... I could offer Patrick Williams, but I think keeping him actually makes sense. 42% shooter from 3 again. So do I want to trade my 7th overall pick for Claxton is the question. Let's see if let's take a look at mock drafts really quickly. So Alejandro Livers, I don't know much about this draft class as far as bigs are concerned, and that's definitely what we need. So I definitely think I'm okay with if I did involve the 7th overall pick to get Claxton, just because he would be a game-changing big man we desperately need. But I'm going to keep it at Grant Williams first, and then let's say we offered... not Jalil Bethea. We really can't offer anything else. I'm not offering any of these players I have under contract. I'm not offering Dink. I'm not offering Bethea. Like, none of those guys are on the table for me, in my opinion. So maybe it is the 7th overall pick. Let's say we can do 20 and also a future Heat pick or something. Does that give me Claxton? They agree. So they actually keep our 7th overall pick. That's great. So we have our guard rotation. We technically have our small forward rotation, but we'll take best available at 7. So AJ goes 1. Cameron Boozer goes 2. Number 3 is Koa. Number 4, Harrington. Number 5, Alejandro. And then number 6, Bryson. And number 7. So, I'm kind of going in blind here. I don't really know who's good, but I guess I'm looking at Drake Powell here, who's 6'5". I'll take him, and that will be our selection. So, he will be a 76 overall. He'll probably spend some time in the G League. Julian Phillips will accept, and then I'm feeling all right. I think this team is solid. Dylan Terry will try to bring back as well, but I actually kind of like where we're at. Now, do we have money to sign a free agent? We do not. Well, we do. Technically, we could sign someone, but nothing like I was looking for. So, Kobe Hochefino, Iodusumo, Jalil Bethea, Dink, and then Ron Holland, Patrick Williams, and Claxton and Paul Reed. So this team is, I think this is a good team. I think this is a playoff team for sure, especially depending on how much our young guys develop here with like Bethea, Ron Holland, like depending on how much those guys develop. But I can't say we're confidently a contender yet. I don't think we're there, but I am probably just going to settle on re-signing Dylan Terry and just loading up again for like a big trade in the future. I think that's where we're at. I think if we're ever going to get like the star that leads us to a championship, it's going to have to be through a trade. And I maybe do that at the deadline. Maybe I do that in the offseason, but I like the pace we're at right now. So Mike Gallons is back, but everyone is developing. We have a solid core, very solid core. But again, I don't know if we have that championship pedigree just yet. I think if we had an 88 overall or 90 overall next to all these guys, I definitely think we're a contender. But right now, we do not have that. We might change that in the future, though. So we'll just keep on the lookout for that. But let's go in this next season. Let's see what this is about to look like, and we'll go from there. So let's load this beautiful 2027 draft class at this point, and then we'll go straight into next season. So we have the 27 power rankings 27. So we're nothing special. 2K is not very high on us, but regardless, I am going to run a 9-man rotation this year, and then we'll see who that kicks out of the rotation. But here's what it would look like. So Kobe White, Ayodosumo, Dink, Patch Williams, Claxton. Again, this is a solid team to me. But if we had that guy that we had, we were building around, that'd be probably the most ideal situation. We just don't have that at the moment. So at least Paul Reed out of the rotation. So I'm actually going to go ahead and run a 10-man rotation. That way we get some backup center minutes. And then I'm going to send Mr. Powell to the G League. Other than that, I will simulate this season. If I do stop the deadline to make that big trade, I will show you. I'm kind of hoping I have the confidence to do so because, again, we have a solid core, but we just don't have the guy yet. And we're going to find that eventually. So this season went a lot better than even I expected. I'm pretty happy with the results, but I don't know if we're gonna go win a championship. We'll see how it goes, but let's take a look. So we ended up as the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference, so a lot better than I even expected. But here were your player stats. You had 18.5 from Kobe White, who's up to an 84, so he keeps developing, which is great. Dink with 16, Hutchifino with 15, and then Ayodosumo with 15, and Ron Holland 14, 13 from Patch Williams, 8 and 10 from Claxton, 7 Terry, and 6.5 from Jalil Bethea. So not too shabby. I'm curious to see how we do in these playoffs, if we go far or not. It would be nice if we can go on a little bit of a run here, but we'll see what happens. Somebody current round against the Pacers, and we are going to beat them in 6. Wow, we're the 4th, it's a 4th, 5th seed matchup, but we actually upset them, so that's a good sign. And now we get the 8th seed in Knicks, so they actually beat the Pistons. So the Knicks, of course, like I've mentioned earlier, had a crazy game yesterday. Josh Hart has become Stephen Curry all of a sudden, but let's go ahead and somebody come around against them, and we are going to get swept, unfortunately. So we made it to the second round, but we were not good enough. We just don't have the guy, man. We don't have the number 1 option to lean on. I like Kobe White, but he just doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to be the guy you want to build around to be your, to be a contender. Dirk retires in Dallas. Damian Lillard retires a Buck. That'd be an absolute travesty. He needs to retire a Blazer, but whatever. All right, straight to draft lottery night we go. Our pick is obviously not going to be with us. Blazers number 3, but yeah, as I mentioned already, we are going big fish hunting this offseason. This is it right here. We are getting our contender status up there. We've waited long enough. I don't know if I'll have the assets pull off the trade before the draft. I would love to if I can. Let's go see if I do. But do I have enough guys under contract that I can make this trade before the draft? Maybe. There's a huge maybe. I have enough guys under contract, but I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to scan around the league. We're going to see who would be, and there's no position that's off limits. I would love to keep Kobe White as a starter, but outside of that, everything else is on the table as far as who we go get to be the guy to lead us to a championship. So I kind of have an idea of who I'm going to try to go for. He's on the last year of his deal. I don't ever really go for him, but I'm going to try to get Ja Morant. 97 overall, last year of his contract. The Grizzlies ended up at 42 and 40. It's going to be really hard to pull this off, but I'm going to try anyway. So let's see if we can pull this off somehow, some way. So, going to cost a ton, but I wonder. So Drake Powell has some good trade value, which is off to a good start. That's great. Dalen Terry has some okay trade value as well. This Lakers pick, pretty good. Our pick, not very good, of course. So we're going to have to offer... if I do get this, obviously Kobe White slides to the 2 in this scenario. Ron Holland, we can't throw in the trade right now. Patch Williams would probably have to be in the trade. Ayodosumo might have to be in the trade as well. We're going to have to include some really good players here, man. One of Patch Williams, Ayodosumo can be in this trade. So let's say we did Patch Williams and this other future first. All this for Ja Morant. I don't even know if they're going to say yes to this. Let's see what they say. They don't agree. Damn. I was kind of hoping we would be like celebrating here, but Ayodosumo, no. If I threw them both, Patch Williams, Ayodosumo, they might say yes. But if I threw Paul Reed in here, they don't agree. I don't know if I can trade both Patch Williams and Ayodosumo. Let's trade this first round pick. Yeah, not happening. We're probably gonna wait till after the draft to try that. So let's go after the draft and get everybody under contract really quickly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb here and include Dink here. It sucks to do, but I think we might have to. I'm going to try all in to go get Ja Morant, like I mentioned it already. So yeah, this is the way of doing that. So I'm going to offer Dalen Terry, Dink, Drake Powell, and then all these. This 2028 Lakers pick gets even better. This 2031. So all of this for Ja Morant. They don't agree. I don't think we're going to be able to make this happen, unfortunately, unless if I'm including like Bethea as well, which is a little tough. But I mean, it would be a lot to give up, but Ja Morant is Ja Morant. I will throw. This is my final offer. If they say no to this, then I'm moving on. This is a lot, bro. This is a lot. But getting Ja Morant would be a game changer for this squad. I don't know, man. They don't agree to it. I'm actually kind of glad they didn't. I had to try it, but okay. Ja Morant, not going to happen. We're going to have to move on to something else, but we do have the ability to sign someone in free agency, but that would mean moving on from Claxton and all these other guys. So let's just re-sign Claxton first. Let's re-sign Hood-Schifino. Let's get those guys back, of course. Let's do that. And then we're going to have to turn our attention to maybe a little bit worse options. It would have been really, really great to have gotten Ja Morant, but unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. So the two other options I have in mind are from the same draft class. They actually went like number 1, number 2 or number 1, number 3, sorry, because obviously James Wiseman, but it should have been number 1, number 2. I'm looking at LaMelo Ball, and I'm also looking at Anthony Edwards. So either way, I think we can't go wrong with either. I'm going to shoot for Anthony Edwards first, just because I am a big Anthony Edwards guy. I do like Anthony Edwards a lot. So let's see if we get Anthony Edwards. Both teams were like the 10th seed, which is why maybe it'd be on the table to move them. But let's say we get Anthony Edwards here. So Ron Holland, I'm actually okay with throwing this trade. I feel like I always trade Ron Holland when I have him, but I'm cool with it. So if I traded, let's trade Ayu Dosunmu, unfortunately, as well. So Dalen Terry in here, and then Drake Powell has to be in this trade as well. So all of this for Anthony Edwards. We're going to do the same package for LaMelo, but let's say they did this. If I can keep Ayu Dosunmu out of this trade, that'd be great. I don't know if I'll be able to. Maybe I'm able to include Jalen Hood-Schifino instead. I would love to keep Ayu Dosunmu if possible. So all this for Edwards. What do you say? They don't agree. Damn, not going to happen. So if I did Ayu Dosunmu instead, they still don't agree. Okay, we're going to go to Charlotte now, and let's see what they say about LaMelo. They don't agree either. Okay, maybe it can't be Ron Holland. Maybe we have to keep Ron Holland in this trade. Maybe it has to be Dink, unfortunately, which would suck. But let's go back to Minnesota. The Anthony Edwards is in here. All of this for Edwards. They still don't agree. And then I will throw you Paul Reed, maybe. They don't agree either. Damn. All right, let's say we did Bethea. Does Bethea get it done? He does. Okay, we got Anthony Edwards. I give up quite a bit to get it done, but we're going to have a full rotation. So we got the Edwards. We got our rotation. So Edwards, Ayu Dosunmu. We don't have a small floor, but of course we can slide Patrick Williams over there and that'd be fine. So yeah, we got very thin. But if we're going to go win a championship, we had to do something like this. So Edwards is the guy now. And after that, our rotation is very, very slim. So we need a point guard and a forward. So we have the ability to sign some decent ones. So we could sign actually Ben Simmons. And we actually have cap space, which is really clutch right now because we definitely need it at this moment. And then I can sign, well, if I'm going to get Ben Simmons, you can sign like, can we sign Jordan Poole as well? I mean, if I can get Ben Simmons, Jordan Poole, that'd be a pretty good offseason. So let's say we get Ben Simmons, Jordan Poole. We can get both. That's great. So we get both of them. That's huge because this rotation was about to be terrible. But we move Ben Simmons down to power forward or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just move him over. So now we have a full rotation again. So yeah, a lot. We gave up a lot for Anthony Edwards, but Anthony Edwards is that kind of dude. So I don't regret it. Hopefully it results in what we want it to look like. Gave up a ton, but we got Anthony Edwards in the process. I do want to look at player progression to see how much I may have messed up. So let's see. Minnesota. Dink didn't move at all. Basically, everybody we gave them did not move. Hood-Schifino is up. Drake Powell is up to an 80, so that could hurt maybe in the future. But, I mean, we're ready to go win a championship, so I guess I can't be too upset with myself. But they went up to an 83 as well, which would have been nice to keep him around. But I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I think Edwards was worth it. We're trying to go win a championship. We have the competitive roster to do so. We'll see if it pays off, though. Gave up quite a bit to do it. But let's see what happens, man. So Power King's going to land 6th overall. We're 4-star proficiency. Rotationally, Kobe White, Anthony Edwards, Patrick Williams, Ben Simmons. Claxton, Ron Holland, Ida Sumo, Jordan Poole, and Paul Reed. So we'll see how this goes. Does our gamble pay off? We shall see what happens. So this season went pretty damn good. I hope it went good because we gave up a lot to take the gamble that we did. Jenkins wins Coach of the Year at 59 and 23. Here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, All-NBA third team, Offensive first team, All-Defense second team. So did Edwards make an All-NBA team? He did. All-NBA third team, which is nice. Averaged 29 points per game. We needed that, man. We needed a guy we believed in to be the number one option. We got that with Anthony Edwards. So he averaged 29, Kobe White with 18, Jordan Poole with 15 off the bench. 14 from Ron Holland, 13 from Patrick Williams, 13 from Ida Sumo, 8 and 10 from Claxton, 7 from Paul Reed, or Ben Simmons, sorry, and then 5 from Paul Reed. So we are playing the New York Knicks in round one, who actually eliminated us last year, but we are better suited now. At least I hope so. Ben Simmons being the starter is kind of bizarre, I'm not going to lie. But hey, he's the starter right now. Somebody come around against New York, and we are going to beat them in 5. So that's off to a good start. Get some sweet revenge from last year. Now we get Cleveland. Of course, Cleveland's always really hard to beat, so I'm a little nervous about this series, but we'll see how this goes. Somebody current round against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and what's there to be nervous about? We beat them in 5 games. Okay. And now we get the Philadelphia 76ers, who have Isaiah Collier and Maxey as a backcourt and Ace Bailey. So pretty disgusting. Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Cameron Thomas, Derek Lively, Tyler Smith, and Jabari Walker. So pretty good team in Philadelphia. We definitely are going to have our work cut out for us, but we do win game 1, 32 from Edwards. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3, 2-1 goes to us. We beat them by 30 in that one. 3-1. And do we beat them in 5? Yes, we do. Let's go. I did not think we were going to beat that team. And wow, the Jazz actually beat the Thunder. Interesting. So yeah, Philadelphia, I thought they were geared up to beat us bad, but I guess not. Collier averaged 28. Did not matter. Tobias Harris still on this team. Derek Lively. I didn't know they had Derek Lively too. Gosh damn. How did we beat that team? I don't know. We get the Jazz though. We have Harper and Scoop as a backcourt. So Blazers let Scoop go, which could be my downfall here. We get the Jazz in the finals. We'll see how this goes. Game 1, 1-0, 127, 113. 35 from Edwards, 31 from Kobe White. Kobe White is averaging 18 in the playoffs, which is great. Game 2, 2-0. Game 3, 3-0. Are really just going to beat the Jazz just like that? I thought they'd put up a better fight, but we are going on a generational run here, and we needed it anyway. We gave up a ton. Honestly, that trade I made was probably terrible, but you know what? If it ends in a championship, can we really be too mad at ourselves? No. Now, it's 2 minutes, 55 seconds left. I'm going to jump in and see if I can hold on to this lead. Let's have some fun. Let's watch me be terrible at 2K. Why not? So let's jump in and let's see if I can get some stops here. So they're going to have Vanderbilt, who's back in Utah. Interesting. We got Cameron Boozer passing it. Why does everything seem so fast right now? Is Ron Holland just... Who am I? I think I'm Ron Holland. I feel quick. I feel like I can get around the court whenever I want. Wow, that was a good 3 from Nikola, but it does not go in. So Kobe White gets the rebound. I don't know what's going on, but I feel quick right now, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe I don't know. Give me a screen. I don't even know who's screening. Who's screening for me? I have no clue. Who is that? I got to find out really quickly. Oh, I didn't even recognize him, bro. That's freaking Anthony Edwards, who gave me a screen. I don't know why he's the one giving me a screen. But wide open 3 for Poole, and I messed up the release, unfortunately. 114 and 109. Anthony Edwards, nice pass to Poole. Maybe I could have just drove and shot it there, but the fact that we got Ben Simmons and Poole championship probably is kind of crazy. Unless if I just choke this year and then they win the next 3 games, then whatever, that could happen too. But all right, let's go. Wow, we have nothing but guards on the court right now. This is kind of weird. I mean, we have Ron Holland, don't get me wrong, but kind of weird that violation. I literally held X to shoot and I just drove out of bounds. I have no idea what happened there, but all right. All right, let's see if we can get something going here. Edwards is going to guard Nikola here. I'm going to try to clamp him up. I'm going to block him from behind. At least I thought I was going to, but I do get a stop regardless. All right, Anthony Edwards. Let's put a dagger in this one here. Let's just take it. Patrick Williams, you're a fantastic shooter, and that is how you do it. That time we actually knock it down. Wide open 3 from Patrick Williams. That was huge. With 52 seconds left on the clock, we needed that. Anthony Edwards going to guard Mr. Nikola here once again. And he is going to try to make something happen here. I'm there. I block it this time. But Wendell Carter, another block. That's 2 blocks. Let's go. And then Mr. Kemp, and I jump for some reason. Blocking foul. All right. Claxton with his 5th foul. Not fouled out just yet. But we have our starting 5 out here, which is nice. Patrick Williams just knocked down a big 3. I mean, defensively, though, this team defensively would be disgusting, man. Anthony Edwards. You got Nicholas Claxton, Ben Simmons, if he was ever his former self. Oh my goodness, another block, bro. We are just on a block party right now. They foul me. I'm probably going to the free throw line, so let's give this one to Anthony Edwards. And we are going to probably hint our way to a championship. Let's see if I can just keep the ball away from them as long as possible. Just kidding. I can't. All right. Let's see if we can knock down these 2 free throws. Nice little release there from Kobe White. And we are going to have an 8-point lead if I sink the second one, which we do. So just like that, 8-point lead. There's nothing they can do at this point. We have come in and clutched up. Patrick Williams with the big 3. Laurie Markkinen from 3. He's going to miss it. That's all she wrote. Anthony Edwards and the Bulls here are going to win our championship, which is very nice. See if I can let's see if I can hit a 3 with Ben Simmons, bro. I'm gonna try it. Give me a screen. Ben Simmons wide open 3. Imagine. Oh, bro, that'd been awesome. All right, guys, that's going to end it here. The trade I made was very risky, but you know what? It paid off. We won a championship, and that's what truly matters. The main thing the Bulls need to do here is reset, bro. Just reset. Try to keep your pick next year. It's top 10 protected. I think that makes the most sense to just kind of reset your franchise. And, you know, maybe trade for Anthony Edwards in the future. Probably don't give him as much as I did, but it is what it is. We won a championship. That's what matters. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Crushables. We'll see you on the next one. I think the next one we still have to do is the Nets, and then we'll do teams as they're eliminated, of course. But for now, this is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.